Hey guys, how is it going? So it's been about 6 months, I guess, from my last Rusty Beauty projects update, and I think it's about time to give you another update now, because there's been some progress with some of the projects. Some of them have been finished now, some of them have been stalled to give priority to some other projects, so I think it's a good idea to give you a little bit of update of all the projects. Also, maybe there are some people that don't know about all the projects. Maybe they don't even know about the existence of some of them. So let's just go through everything and make sure that everybody is on the same page here, because the new season, so-called new season, is about to start of Rusty Beauties now. So first project, just because I'm standing here right now, not that it's in any order or anything. As usual, I'm just gonna go through all of them one by one. So the first one is here. That's the 1966 Triumph Spitfire. This one was my first one that I restored. Like I said many times before, I'm not really proud with all of what has been done on it, because I was, not that I'm very good now, but at that time I was just beginning to restore cars, and there are many things that I didn't do right, or I didn't do on the first go, so I had to go a couple of times on some of the processes. But anyway, so it's been restored for what, almost 3 years now? No, 2 years. I finished it in 2016, and now it's 2018, so yeah, it's been on the road for 2 summers now, and it's been a little bit beat up already. I'll show you what problems it has, but it's my daily driver. I attended many shows with it already. I won a 3rd prize last year on the British Car Day with it in its class, so not that it's a perfect car, but it is a very good car, and it serves me very well. So recently, what have I done on it? I changed the radiator back to a big radiator, because you remember in the spring I did something stupid. I ruined my own radiator, so I had to install a smaller one, but that was a bit of an issue, because in the summer I had issues with heat. It wasn't overheating, but it was running very hot, so I also had problems with the alternator, with the mounting bracket for the alternator. It kept breaking, and recently I figured out that the belt was actually stretched, and it had some wide areas and some narrow areas on the belt, and that was making the whole assembly vibrating a lot. Okay, so what's going on with it? If you remember, in the spring, that was at the end of April or beginning of May, I don't remember, but somebody backed up into my hood here and damaged it, and I've been dealing with the insurance since then. Well, one reason or another, the hood is still not fixed, but just today I had it looked at, and I'm expecting an estimate from a paint shop to fix that hood for me, because it's been already almost 6 months, and I don't want to put it away for the winter with this damage on the hood. So hopefully in the next few weeks this problem is going to be solved, and we're going to be able to put the car away for the winter in a good condition, so next spring we're ready to drive. So that's about it. Oh my god, all kinds of noises here. So that's about it. I guess everybody almost is familiar with this car, so there's no need to be talking much about it. Let's see some other projects. Next project is this 1973 Triumph TR6. And I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with this car, so I'm just gonna go quickly through it. So, you know, it was restored completely now. It is complete now. I even did the trunk and some other little things that I didn't put in video, but you know, they were in my list, so let me show you. Even the trunk is now done. Everything is assembled. We have a spare tire underneath and everything that we need. So A quick story about it. That's a car that we bought together with Jake in 2015. In the beginning it was like a shop project here, everybody was working on it. Some people did good things about it, some people did a really bad work on it, so I had to redo a lot of stuff on it. The paint job was also done twice because the first paint shop did a horrible job on it, so we had to send it to another paint shop, and that took a lot of time, but finally they gave it back to us with a very good paint. I'm pretty happy with it. So I finished it, I assembled it, and finally this year, just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it attended the British Car Day, and now the car is back on the road. We're not sure what we're gonna do with it. Maybe we're gonna sell it. I don't know what's gonna happen with this car, but for now she's ready, and maybe she's gonna go to live somewhere else for the winter, to make room in this shop and to be safe there, because here we weld, we grind, it's dusty, and we don't want it to be damaged in any way. So maybe she's gonna go on up north in Jake's cottage. He has a big garage there which he can use for storage, so she might go live there for the winter. So that's it, that's about it. She's a really nice car. All the whole list, the little things that were not done before, I finished them, but like I said, I didn't film them because they were not very interesting. And I think the British Car Day was a pretty good ending of the whole video series about this car. So that's about her. Let's go see some other projects. And the other projects are over there in that room. So I know that you are used with my GT6 to be in a different area of the shop, but now we moved it here in this room, and this is the same room where our 74 TR6 is. And for those of you who followed my Spitfire restoration, they probably remember that this is where the Spitfire got restored. This is where it lived for 1 year until the restoration was finished. But now we are talking about my GT6. So that's a 1972 Triumph GT6. It was given to me, and I can't thank you enough, Kit, about that. So it was given to me a year ago. We went with Chef Tash to pick it up from New Jersey. Keith Edgington gave it to me. He took it apart about 30 years ago, and he never put it back together for one reason or another. So finally I got it, and now all the parts are here. It's a complete car, we have all the parts for it. And last winter I wasn't even gonna start this car before I finished the 73 TR6, but because it took a lot of time for the TR6 to come back from paint, I started on the metalwork on the GT6, and apparently in 6 months or so I managed to do almost all the metalwork. So when the 73 TR6 came back from paint, I had to go back to that project. So this is where this GT6 had to be stowed. But good thing is that now the 73 TR6 is done, and I can come back to the GT6. So very soon we're gonna be back on this project. I'm not even sure what we're gonna start with. Maybe I'm gonna just finish welding, because there's a little bit more welding on the bonnet and on the body, just a little, I hope. So I think I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'm gonna strip the paint from the bonnet as well and prime it, because that the body is epoxy primed already. So maybe I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'm gonna do some body work and get it ready, but for sure I'm not gonna paint it before the spring, when the weather allows again for paint. So the engine is here. It needs to be disassembled and assessed. Maybe it needs serious work, maybe it's only bearings and rings, who knows, we will see. I have a D-type overdrive transmission for it that I bought separately, so that's gonna go on the car when it's ready. The frame and the suspension are done. I need to work still on the rear suspension a little bit. I need to check the differential and leaf spring, but other than that almost everything is rebuilt on the suspension. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about this project because soon we're gonna be back on it, maybe in the next few days, not even in a week. And next, because we are in this room, let's talk about the 74 TR6. So this is another project that we bought together with Jake. We bought it a year ago, I think. The idea for it is the same as for the 73 TR6, to restore it and maybe sell it. But who knows? Like I said, I was convincing Jake to keep the 73 TR6 and maybe I could keep this one, but I don't know. I don't know. For now we are not working on it. Maybe she's gonna be sold as it is. Who knows? There are a couple of videos about it in my channel. You can see that the frame was totally rusted when we got it, so we bought another frame for it, not new, but in a much better shape than the original one, and it is salvageable. So when we start working on this project, if we start, that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the frame, rebuild the suspension, and it needs floors, it needs seals, needs a lot of metal work. But we have the floors, we have all the metal parts, so it needs only labor actually. So that's about it. We're not gonna touch it for now, she's gonna wait. Okay, another TR6. This is the 1970 TR6. And this one belongs to a customer who later became friend and even colleague or co-worker. And this car came for only frame repair. We were supposed to lift the body a little bit, repair the frame and put it back in 6 hours. Well, you know how the ground up restoration starts, right? So this is how this one started. Started with a little frame repair and it turned into a ground up restoration, which is good because somebody worked on this car but the work was not great. So I repaired the frame and I've done a lot of metal work on it. There's again a video series, maybe 10 videos, I don't know how many videos about this car already. And all the metal work is done. Now John is taking it, I think next week, he's taking it to paint. So I know I keep saying that in every update, but I think this time it's serious. So the car is gonna go for paint, then she's gonna come back and she's gonna be put together. I rebuilt the engine. It's sitting right there behind the car somewhere, and all the rest of the parts are on this cart over there, and some of them are even in John's house. But when he takes it to paint and brings it back, probably we're gonna finish assembling it here. So the frame was done, like I said, the suspension is rebuilt, so there isn't much work on this car. Once she comes back from paint, she's gonna need a couple of weeks or months to be finished. So that's about it. I think since last update there is not much happening with it, so I have no news to report here. Okay, and this is my 1968 Triumph Spitfire Mark III. Not much progress with it too, except I have some plans for it. I keep making up my mind. You know that I pulled out the engine from this car, rebuilt it and put it in my 66 Spitfire, so there's no engine in this car. The idea was to, when I start restoring it, to take back the engine from the 66, rebuild that other engine for the 66, which is 1147cc, and put it back there. But now I think I changed my plans. I think I'm gonna keep the engine from this car in the 66, and for this car I might obtain a GT6 engine and install a GT6 engine in it. So that's my plan. But for now she's sitting here in this trailer and she's full of parts. Some of these are GT6 parts, some of them are its own parts, but who knows how long is it gonna take before we are able to start working on her. For now, unfortunately, she's gonna have to wait a little more. Alright, and these are all the Rusty Beauties that are still here with us. What? Something is missing? Yeah, I know. The 1964 Triumph TR4 is missing. and that's up north in Jake's cottage. She's gonna spend the winter there. But you know, that car is a driver, she's not a project, because there are some things that I keep doing on it, but it's not a project for restoration anymore because she's all done. If you remember, I rebuilt the engine, I rebuilt the overdrive. Recently I installed an alternator instead of the generator, so that's done. And yeah, the car is drivable, so she is still one of my Rusty Beauties, but she's not here anymore. Maybe one day she's gonna come back, maybe she's gonna stay up north, she's gonna live there, we don't know. So these are all the Rusty Beauties that we have in the shop right now. But we have some other interesting things here that I see people are asking questions about, and that's, for example, this 1977 AMC Matador, which belongs to Jake. So let me show you a little bit of it. So like I said, it's 1977 Matador. I don't know a lot more about the car. I know that Jake is in love with this car, and he said many times that he's never gonna sell it, he's never gonna give it up. So she's here now for some maintenance, otherwise she lives in his cottage, he stores it there. But now she needs another muffler, she needed an oil change, what else? There were some little things that we had to finish. So now it's all done except the muffler. So that's gonna be done soon, and she's gonna go back to her normal place where she lives. So that's about her. Let me close the hood. This hood is bigger than a king-size mattress. Literally. Yeah, she's a beautiful car, but not my style, you know. I love my little British cars. Okay, so that's this project, and you probably saw the video about this girl yesterday. She belongs to a friend again, and like I said in the video, she was part of a museum exhibition for the last 18 or 20 years, I don't know how long. So she wasn't even run, and yesterday we made it run and we fixed a couple of things on it. So now she's running, and the only thing that we didn't do yesterday was an oil change. But today we got the oil filter and the oil, so probably tomorrow or on Monday I'm gonna change the oil, and she's gonna be all done, and she can be sold because that's her destiny. She's going on Kijiji, which is the Canadian version of Craigslist, and she's gonna be sold. Something else that I'm working on right now, but I'm not filming it, is this TR4 engine that I'm rebuilding. Here are all the parts that I took apart today. I haven't measured it yet. I'm gonna measure and I'll see if it needs any machining or any reboring or whatever it needs, but I have to measure. The block is sitting over there on the engine stand. So we're gonna clean this, and we're gonna order the parts that we need, and we're gonna rebuild it. It belongs to Jake again, this engine. It's a spare engine for his TR4, so it's been sitting here for a long time, partially disassembled, and because I'm not very busy right now, I offered to Jake to rebuild it and put it together in one piece. Maybe he can use it, or maybe he can advertise it and sell it, but at least the engine is gonna be in a good running condition, because so far it was sitting partially disassembled in unknown condition. So that's what I'm doing during the day, but that's gonna be a shop project, while my GT6 over there is gonna be my next after hours project, which I'm hoping to start very, very soon, in the next few days, like I said. So expect more videos about her in the very near future, and that's the whole update for now, guys. So that's the whole update for now, guys. I think I showed you all the projects here, all the Rusty Beauties and all the non-Rusty Beauties, and yeah, stay tuned for GT6 videos next. Thanks for watching. Bye.